We are live. What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Canadian Guy here, and I am back with Sly Cooper 2, Band of Thieves. Today's been a busy day. It has been nonstop for me. I have been going nonstop. It has been, I haven't had a break. Today's just been crazy, crazy, crazy. If all goes well, we might even be able to get a video out tomorrow as well. So that will be 3 videos this week, which is a pretty darn cool. And if not, then it might be going out on Monday. How is everyone doing? I hope you guys are all doing fantastic. I hope you've had a great week. Give me a second here. I do have some unfortunate breaking news. It would seem that there was a large layoff again at Phoenix Labs. Oh geez. Okay, so Phoenix Labs. I saw earlier that Nick Cole was, I guess, laid off, and I was like, oh, that's unfortunate. But then I started to see other people laid off, and I didn't put 2 and 2 together, and I forgot that Nick Cole actually worked at Phoenix Labs. If you're unfamiliar, Phoenix Labs is the company that does Dauntless, Fae Farm, I think it's called, or Fae Fairy Farm, I think it's called. Forgive me if I kind of forget the Fae Fairy Farm, and I was reading that they were allegedly weeks away from announcing their next project, and the whole thing got canned. So yeah, there was a large set of layoffs at Phoenix Labs. So it looks like the layoff bug is still hanging around, unfortunately. Real quick before we start, I'm just going to quickly read a quote here from Phoenix Labs themselves. All right, there you are. A quote from Phoenix Labs, just make sure that you guys can all read this. Today is an incredibly difficult day. After a long period of evaluating how to navigate our economic environment, we have had to significantly restructure the company to pave a path for a strong future. We are reorganizing Phoenix Labs to focus on our best-in-class live service titles, Dauntless and Fae Farm, and serving their communities. This unfortunately means canceling work on all other projects at the studio, which will impact many of our colleagues immediately. We are giving notices to everyone whose roles are affected. This restructure has not come easily and truly has been the last resort to ensure Phoenix Labs can survive and thrive in the long term. It's impossible to put into words how deeply we value every talented individual who has contributed their hard work and passion to every project at our studio. We are doing all we can with our departing team members in this interim period and encourage any studios looking for incredible talent to speak with the one-of-a-kind people that have been a part of Phoenix Labs' journey. Wow. That's unfortunate. I am very sorry to everybody over at Phoenix Labs. There are a whole bunch of, I guess, TFB, our previous TFB members who are there, including Nick Cole. I know that at one point Josh Nadelberg was there. I know Nick Cole was there, and there was a couple others as well that were over at Toys for Bob originally, and then when the layoffs went, they went to Phoenix Lab. So that's unfortunate. So to everyone that's affected by that layoff, my heart goes out to you, and I'm very, very sorry. I'm very sorry to hear of the layoff. I'm incredibly sorry. That sucks, and it's awful. I mean, there's not much to really say other than that, really. I just, the only thing that I hope is that they can get back on their feet and find jobs immediately. That would be amazing. Pickpocket? Pickpocket? There we go. Got the key.
Okay, head back to the fountain to make the exchange.
Didn't have to do that, but, you know, why not? So besides that, how is everybody doing today? I hope you guys are all doing great. Ronald, thank you so much for the very first donation of the stream. $5 to Super Chat. Thank you, thank you. Hey, OCG, how's it going? Question, what's your thoughts on the new animated series, The Amazing Digital Circus? I've only seen screenshots of it. I have never watched a second, you know, or anything about it, so I don't really know. It looks strange. I mean, but that's coming from somebody who just looking from the outside in. It looks strange, but of course, you know, that it might require context for it to not be so strange, or it just might be strange. Either or. Oh,
All you.
Let's head out for the repair truck.
I see a bottle. Come on. Hold on. Let's go to what about haven't watched that neither. Where's that repair truck? That's over there. Unfortunately, I don't have a lot of time to do as much fun things. I'm more of a boring person now. It's a lot of work. But again, thank you so much for the $5. Thank you so much. I do appreciate that. It's always the developers that take the most massive hit. Unfortunately, yeah. Remember how Sly 2 was my very first Sly game to know the fandom. Yeah, Sly 2 was very good. I think I started with Sly 2 as well, I want to say.
I'll take the wheel. I know how to drive a stick shift.
Good to know.
I need to get in position.
Loving this green color. Well, I'm happy that you love the green color too, Elena. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I thought I updated the noise, the alerts. Maybe I didn't update that alert for some reason. That's weird. Thought I did. Okay, before we go, I want to go get that bottle. So hold on. Leap, bounce. There we go. Okay, so that alert sounds fine. Gonna have to tweak some of my other alerts. Loving this green color. I love seeing the green color. I want to play the remake of the Thousand Year Door. I can't afford it right now, though. that's a bit of a little bit of a problem. I look American. Why? Is it, what was it? The plaid shirt? Is it?
Position.
We're just driving up right now. Get ready to grab the tool.
What part looks Americano? Mrs. Joker gifted 1 membership to Glaceon. Well, isn't that awesome? Thank you. Cupcakes. Thank you. Thank you so much, and congratulations, Glaceon.
Missed.
How much higher do I have to go? To go like all the way to the sky? Oh, we got it.
Hooks on. Pull away.
Sly, the guards are onto us. Protect the truck.
They're onto us. Scram! Man, I wish I was playing Murray here. Audio a little bit low? No, we can turn it up. Muscular build. I am dad bod. There we go. 23.5. Dad bod. Dad bod. Woo! But I appreciate that I appreciate the pseudo compliment there. Thank you. Stay away from the tow truck. Why can't Murray just come out here? And, you know, there we go. How's the audio? Is the audio better?
Behold the majesty of gravity and inertia.
That was real subtle, Bentley.
You jumped in, grabbed the clockwork tail feathers, and we're out of here.
Still kind of low? No problem. We can turn it up a little bit more. There. I like them apples.
Oh, raccooners do this. Like totally bumming my house up and bringing me down. So very uncool. Why can't you let birds and bees be free, bro?
Listen, Dimitri. You have no idea what you're playing with. It'll bring more than your house down.
Look, bro, I see you are a tough cowboy. A man with taste, style, vision, a connoisseur of finer things. Like me. Look, I'm sure that two cats in a bag like us can work something out. Yeah?
Yeah?
Smooth. Look, see the money. You like the money. You can take all you want. I can.
No deal. You and the rest of the Claw Gang have to be stopped. Clockwork will never again see the light of day. Just hand over the tail feathers and we can...
What is this with clocks, bro? Have you no vision? Are you hearing what I beam to you? You think you have juice? Don't show me a little mind when talking about such...
Still too
big
quiet.
things.
Jeez, okay.
You think you can swing the bat? Show your bling and let me shine you.
I have no idea what you're
How's
saying.
that?
And your suit sucks.
Let's dance!
Is that better, or is that too loud now? Gaming Pez donated $5 to Super Chat. I have a friend from the UK and Canada, and they always talk smack about the US. What are your thoughts about the USA? My thoughts about the USA. Oh boy. We asked some controversial questions, though. I think that there are areas of the U.S. that are amazing. And areas that I want to visit, and areas that I want to travel to, and just a whole bunch of interesting areas and cities. However, there are some places that if I die never going there, I will be A-okay with that. Might be too loud now. Okay. Alright, let's turn it down now. How about that? Is that better? We'll get there. Because here's the thing. I have, and it's kind of funny, because I have met some Americans that are legitimately the kindest people I've ever met, period. I mean, these are the kind of people that if you walked up to them and said, hey, I'm hungry and I need a place to sleep, they wouldn't even know who you are and they'd give it to you. Right? Like, that's... like that kind of just literally take the shirt off their back for you. And however, some of the most arrogant people I have ever met
Is greasy sweet.
are from the States. So you see this, it's interesting, right? It's weird. Because it's weird because on one hand, like I said, some of the nicest people I ever met were from the States, and then also some of the worst people were from the States. So for me, when I say what's my opinion on the States, I'm very split, and you know, so it's kind of hard for me to, you know, pin down a it's hard for me to pin down a lockdown statement. So so it's, yeah, it's interesting. You got some of the nicest people and then some of the worst people. So lukewarm, I suppose. Hey, we have two $5 donations back to back. It's a little $5 donation train. Alina donated $5 from Grandma. Treat yourself to something nice. Well, I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. That's very sweet of you. Thank you. Then Ronald donated another $5 to Super Chat. Thank you so much, Ronald. I appreciate that. I wish there was a lock on. That'd be great. Yeah, when I first saw it, I thought the Amazing Digital Circuit is going to be weird too. It actually blew me away with how good it actually is. Well, maybe I'll have to check it out. Maybe I'll take a look at it maybe see what it's all about, what the rage is, you know, because, you know, Twitter's been making art about that, you know, talking about it out of context all the time, so I'm always down to, you know, increase my taste in things, or at least attempt to when I have the time. I hope that you guys enjoyed actually today's video. Kind of proud with how quickly I was able to kind of assemble that video. I was able to get that video together. I started it at 9 o'clock. Like I started scripting at 9 o'clock and recorded it in one. Got it all done. And I got it at around 1:30. So
Clockwork feathers and my counterfeit in operation. It's past tense.
I'm doing you a favor. What kind of thief prints money? There's no honor in that.
You crackerbox.
yeah, it's worst insult possible. Cracker box.
My gang and I had done it. The clockwork tail feathers were ours, and Dimitri's counterfeiting operation.
I'm missing
was
2
ruined.
bottles though. Gonna have to go back.
Due to the untimely arrival of Carmelita, my escape got a little tricky. Angry at having just missed me, she took it out on Dimitri, shutting down the nightclub and throwing the frustrated forger behind bars.
Dimitri's
The gang
only
and I
5
headed
foot,
out
then
of
how
town
tall is
for a
Sly?
week in Monaco. Bentley wanted to try out his new card counting formula, and I figured the team had earned themselves a well-deserved break.
So I'm gonna go back here because I want to go look for 2 bottles. Oh boy, you're bringing out the deep questions already. We're 27 minutes in, and including a 10-minute intro, so we're 17 minutes in there. Dahlia Black, as a Christian, what are your thoughts on Has-Been Hotel / Hell of a Boss? So honestly, my thought is I just avoid it. That's it. I just avoid it. It's just. That's it. I avoid it. I don't say anything about it. I don't say like, oh, like, you know, if you like this, you're a such and such. Nope. I just say, you know what? That's not for me. I'm not interested about that. And that's it. And I leave it at that. I don't go digging to hate. I don't go digging to find something to like. I just say, you know what? That's okay. Not for me. And I move on. That's it. Nothing more, nothing less. Nothing complex, nothing, you know, nothing deeply seated. Just like, nope, not for me. That's it. And I move on. It's, it might be an answer that kind of is a bit disappointing, but, you know, that's really it. Okay, so I am missing 2 bottles. I forget, is there a detector? Schmack. In we go. Okay, so let's see. Are there any bottles in here? Julie Liberty donated $10 to Super Chat. Thank you, Julie. How's it going, CG and chat? I'm happy that I was able to make it to the stream. Well, I'm happy that you made it too. Thank you so much for your kind and generous donation. Thank you, thank you, thank you. That is beyond sweet of you. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Are there any bottles in here? Gotta listen. Shimmack. Maybe out in the main map? Okay, so I can just dip here? Alright. Thank you for... In a boat. Oh, I'm on... I think I grabbed a 1 or 2 from a boat. I'm missing 2, so maybe I'll go check the other boats! All about that. Alright. I'm gonna sprint through. We're doing the peak sprints. Yes, Dr. Cortex. Working the Gluteus Maximus. I think people having that kind of mind frame for things fandoms would, yeah, no, that's it. It's just, for me, it's, you see, I get mad at things when I like something and then it goes stupid. That's when I get mad. If it's something that I see and I just look at it, I'm not interested in it, and I know I'm not interested in it, I just avoid it. That's it. I'm not going to give my input. I'm not going to sit there and be, get mad at people, throw things down people's throats about whether or not they should or shouldn't like something or whatever. I'm not going to say a word. It's just, I'm not interested in it, and just move on. That's it. I don't need to comment on it. I don't need to dig into it. That's it. But obviously you love today's video. Well, I'm happy to hear that. Oh, I hear you. Ah, there you are. Come on.
With that last clue, I should be able to crack the code to the vault. Head inside and let's see what they're hiding in that thing.
I think the vault, though, is ironically back here at the, I believe it's Dimitri's office, if my memory serves correct. Don't mind me just sprinting through in the most stealthy way possible. Excuse me. This is my first time? No, gosh, no. No. And that's that big respect. Yeah, that's it. That's it. Can I not get into the office right there? Why does the gameplay look so smooth to me? I've been playing at 30 maybe? No. Can't. Dang it. Other side of the map. It's been a hot minute since I've sat down and played through Sly 2, though. But it's not my first time. Alright. Don't mind me. Gotta go to the window. The window. Okay. Well, we're off to the window. Hey! Dagger! How's it going, man? Got an interesting question. What is your earliest memory ever? Suffice to say, it actually isn't a great memory. There's holes in my memory, of course, because of it being so long ago. But one of my furthest memories that I had when I was a kid was actually not necessarily a memory, but more of a nightmare. I had a very, very bad nightmare when I was a kid, and I actually still remember it to this day. So it kind of sucks that one of my core memories from going back that far is a nightmare. I had a dream. It was one of those first dreams that I had that I thought that it was real life, and it was weird because, so to describe the dream, it was like as if I woke up. It was those dreams where you wake up in a dream and you think that you're awake, but you're still dreaming. It was one of those types of dreams. And I remember I woke up and I remember I was hearing like rustling, and I remember I was hearing like thudding, like thump, thump, thump. and it was really weird. And I remember standing up, and I was in one of those cribs. So I couldn't get out of my bed. I was holding. I remember peering up and looking over, and I remember hearing the thudding, and the thudding was getting louder and louder as it got closer and closer to me. And then I was like, Mom, and then what came through the door was a creature. It was a very, at the time, describing it now, it doesn't sound so scary, but to a small kid, this thing was terrifying. The best way I could describe it was, imagine crossing a Heartless from Kingdom Hearts and like a silverback gorilla. That would be the only way to really describe it. And I remember it turned and it looked at me, and I froze, and then it like snarled and it jumped at me. I screamed, and I woke up in my same bed. And I remember screaming for Mom and just not being able to comprehend what had just happened. And I was just so mentally distraught. I was like, I remember I couldn't sleep. I remember I was freaking out, and that was, and unfortunately that was one of my very first memories, thinking back. So yeah, welcome to Psychiatry with CGE. Starting with memories that terrified him as a kid. I can talk about it easily now, right? I mean, it's not hard for me to talk about. It doesn't bother me, but it's just, you're one of my, you're an amazing supporter, and I want to answer your questions. So yeah, the other one that I have a really clear one was actually, funny enough, another scary memory. I remember actually I was in my car seat, and I remember I was in a car seat or something. I remember being in the car seat, and I remember being in the living room of the old house, and I remember sitting there, and I remember it was storming outside. And I remember that the house had like a split to it, so it was a front back. It was a half split, like front and back split. And I remember, that drawing is hysterical. I remember, hold on, let me just punch this in.
It took some higher level math, but I believe the code to Dimitri's vault is
Hey, Venomous.
231.
2, 3. It's just a variant of 1, 2, 3. Knockout dive.
You've gotten the knockout dive move.
1 second. But anyway, yeah, so yeah, there was that memory. And then I remember so it was a front back split, and I remember there was a thunderstorm going on, and I remember the lights went out, like all the power went out, and then it came back on, and there was a giant crack of lightning outside, and I remember everybody running outside to go look at, like, a tree may have fallen or something happened where, everyone ran to the window to go look, and they left me alone in the car seat. And I remember being awake and feeling alone and sad and scared because I just saw this big flash of lightning, and all the lights went out, popped on, and then everyone rushed outside, and I was still in my car seat. What was the worst nightmare you ever had? Not one I particularly want to share. I'll just say that, and I'm gonna leave it at that. I don't want. I would not want to share this one. That one is one that that one stays in therapy. That's where that one stays. That one stays stored away in therapy. Okay, hold on. So here. So do we just exit to episodes menu? I believe. Yes, exit. That one stays in therapy mood. Yeah, that's where I'm at. That one stays in therapy. What are your thoughts on Pokemon Generation 10? Is that the most recent one, or I lose track? Is it the most recent one, or is that one that's already been cut out?
Another clockwork part had surfaced in India, so the boys and I loaded up the van and
sorry,
zeroed
guys.
in on our next target. A mysterious spice lord known as
Why is it not showing?
Rajan.
There we go.
A self-made man who grew up poor on the streets of Calcutta, he started his life of crime selling illegal spices in the black market.
I'm so excited for
Eventually
Pokemon
growing a
Legends,
small outfit to a sizable operation and earning himself a seat in the prestigious Claw Gang. He's since crowned himself Lord of the Hills, and while he goes to great lengths to convince others of his royalty, it's mostly to convince himself.
All right, Spice Boy.
True to form, he's holding a lavish ball in his newly purchased ancestral palace. The reason? To show off his latest acquisition, the Clockwork Wings. The symbol of my enemy. If you saw the wings silhouetted against the night sky, it was already too late for you, especially if your name was Cooper. Rajan believes displaying the wings will bring him prestige, and maybe they will, but they're also bringing me.
In a starry-eyed encounter. Should Sly fans have hope? Absolutely. Every fan should have hope. Let me tell you something, okay? KO the Kangaroo came back. Think about that for a second. KO the Kangaroo came back. Okay? Medieval came back. Okay?
Sly, scope out the palace and then find a way to break into the ballroom.
There
Find out who's at this.
is always hope. Always have hope.
With the drawbridge up, the only way across that river is on those conical rocks. Do you remember how to spire jump?
What? You think I forget one of the Cooper family's greatest thief moves? Whenever I'm near pointed objects, I just need to jump and hit the circle button to perform a ninja spire landing.
That's correct. Now let's see it in action.
Yeah, actually, that came bent. Get all bent out of shape. But yeah, always have hope. Always have hope. You always have hope, because I have hope in a lot of things, so that when any of those things happen, I'm happy. Right? I have hope for a new Sly Cooper. I have hope for a new Jack and Dexter. I have hope for Spyro 4, of course. I have hope for Crash Bandicoot 5. I have hope for CTR 2. I have hope. I hold a lot of hope for a lot of things. Because if I always have hope in something, when it comes true, it's positive. The Ninja Llama donated $5 to Super Chat. Hey CG, happy to make the stream. Was curious, what was your favorite episode? What your favorite episode is and why? Are you talking about specifically for Sly 2 or just Sly in general? So, I'm trying to remember. Because it has been a hot minute. It's been a hot minute. I'm trying to remember all the episodes. I think it's the one after this one is my favorite. I think. Or no, it's the one with I believe the one is I get mixed up between Sly 2 and 3, so forgive me, but I think it's the one with the clockwork claws, the guy with the Canadian. Yeah, the Canadian episodes. That one, that guy's great. He runs the Iron Train, which has the heart of clockwork. John Bisson, that's right. I love John Bisson. Thank you again, Ninja Llama, for the $5, and I very much appreciate that. Jean Bisson, yeah, he's great. I love him. I love the area. It's really good. There we go. Yes, I like the Canadian episode. I love all the Canadian jokes and the puns. They're so stereotypical. They're great. Thank you so much, Elena, for the $5. To quote Ignitus, even in the darkest times, there's always hope. That's exactly right. And you know, if I feel no hope, right? If I isolate my hope and bank on one or two things to have hope for, and then be pessimistic about everything else, then if one of those two things don't happen, then I lose hope. Right? But you know what? I can never lose hope because, you know, I can never lose hope because my daughter's name is Hope. Right? So, you know, hope is a very, very, very powerful thing. And I think, you know, it's always important to have hope. And it sounds something from a Disney film, but it's true. Ronald donated $5 to Super Chat. Thank you so much again. Okay, got a question. What's the best dream you ever had in your life? Kind of, you know, I don't know. I don't know. I've had, you know, many dreams. But I always find that I always try to make it that the life that I live is the dreams that I strive to live life the way that my dreams would be. Does that make sense? Where I wake up from a dream and I don't think, oh man, I wish I could go back there, unless it was for like an emotional reason. Like, you know, I've had dreams of loved ones who had passed and talking with them, and then, and then I wake up and they're not there, right? You know, so it's a happy dream, but it's a sad dream at the same time, right? So I've had those types of dreams. So to bounce off of that, I think the best dream I ever had was, I had a dream that one of the dreams that I had was when my grandfather passed away. I had a dream probably about, I'm trying to think how long later it was. It might have been almost a decade later. I remember I was sitting... Ow! I was sitting in the hospital, apparently. I remember I was sitting... The dream that I had, I was sitting in church, and we were singing a hymn, and I heard a voice behind me that was familiar. It sounded very, very familiar, but I couldn't put my finger on it. I couldn't figure out who it was. But it was like, for some reason, I couldn't turn around. Like, I couldn't turn around for some reason. But, you know, but the voice was so familiar. Finally, there was like something allowed me to turn around and look, and it was my grandfather. But it was a younger version of my grandfather, and he looked at me and he smiled, and I remember grinning ear to ear, and jumping, lurching at him, and hugging him and being so happy. And I remember, I was hugging him, and then I woke up. And I remember clutching, I was holding like my pillow, like, you know, to my chest. That's, so it was a very bittersweet dream. So y'all are going to the deep, dark, you know, psychology of CGE. Why don't we ask the fun questions? Like, hey, CGE, what's your favorite Spyro level? Oh, gee, thanks for asking that. What is your deepest, darkest fears, and why are you living them? Oh, good. Therapy time with CGE. I'm half joking. I'm not like, you know, like, how dare you ask me these questions? But it's just funny how people are hopping on and asking some, like, deeply seated questions. Cheesecake or pizza? There we go. Depending on the cheesecake and depending on the pizza. Here's the thing. I have had mediocre cheesecake, and it's not bad. I have had, like bad cheesecake, it just kind of just tastes like, okay, this kind of just sucks. But bad pizza, oof. I've had some bad pizza. So, I think we'll go with cheesecake. But if done right, then pizza. But if done bad, like if it's average, like really bad, like if you've had bad pizza, holy Nelly, say goodbye to your guts. But if you have, you know, good pizza, yeah. Get out of here. Yeah, there we go. Up here. Just had to be there, didn't you? Just had to be there. Oh, that was the wrong button. That wasn't, though. The cardboard pizza experience is universal. Yeah. Airplane pizza. Yeah. What's the worst food you've ever had? You see, I'm not the pickiest person, right? I only have a few things that I genuinely don't like, and I typically avoid them like the plague. And it's not even like I don't like the flavor, I just don't like the texture. However, I'll say this. I'll tell you recently the worst food I've had, because I'm typically the shut up and eat it type of person. That's typically my thing, is if someone hands you a free lunch, or if someone hands you food and it tastes half okay, shut up and eat it, right? That is my, you know, that's kind of a philosophy. However, there was one thing that I had that I typically have very good table manners. I typically, you know, I can eat. I don't belch at the table. I don't talk gross things, whatever. I have typically fairly good table manners. So for me to do this, it was shocking even for me. We were on our way back from Ohio and we stopped at Cracker Barrel. Great start. And I get like a breakfast platter, and it just comes with your normal breakfast things. And one of the things it came with is a slice of this ham, and it was like this honey ham or whatever. And I was like, okay, you know, whatever. I'm not a big ham guy, but, you know, I'll have a little bit of ham, and if the kids want it, or if my wife wants it afterwards, that's fine. I'll give it to her or give it to them or whatever. So I cut myself a slice of this ham because I think it's ham. It's bloody ham. You can't screw up ham. I bit into this, and not a word of a lie, I can't describe the taste that hit me other than rotting dog food. Like, I sat there, and my gag reflex hit so hard typically I can hold it back. If there's something that's really gross, like maybe if we go and order sushi, like, you know, all you can eat sushi and there's a roll that comes in, this is not great. I can be like, just take a, a cloth into my hand, you know, wrap it up in a thing and set it aside, right? And just drink of water. All right, continue with my meal. This hit my gag reflex so hard, okay? I gagged and literally just spat it all up onto a plate, and it was not good. It wasn't like it was, you know, a loud sound. Everyone in the restaurant turned and looked at me, and what I did to try to save face is I coughed. I kept coughing, even though I was fine. I was like, sorry. I said, hit my throat wrong, you know, and people were like, oh, yeah, we all get that. That's fine. And my wife looked at me like, what, are you okay? And I was like, do not eat that. As soon as everything quiet down, like it was not a very good, like, you know, very quiet. No, it was loud, it was obnoxious, and it was like everyone in the restaurant looked at me, and I was like, oh man, I just, you know, sorry, I hit my throat. You're eating too fast. And in reality, it tasted like rotting dog food. That's the only way I can describe it, and it was so bad. I was like, nope, never again. And then, like, it soured, like, well, there goes the artifact. It soured the rest of my meal, like, so it was. It soured the rest of my meal, and I was like, I can't eat any more like that. And that was the first time that something like that had happened at a restaurant, where it wasn't pretty. It wasn't pretty. It was like, wow. So, you know, again, I try to save face by not doing like a gag, just more like a cough, but I was gagging. So I was doing like a cough gag, like, hey, like it did not sound good. There we go. My least favorite vegetable. Humongous, funny. Donated $2 to Super Chat. What's your opinion on jokes about war/war crimes? Jeez, we're getting heavy, guys. I mean, I always joke, and, you know, people can testify to this. I always joke about Canada's literal war crimes in World War II, but I don't go into detail about how awesome, you know, it was or whatever, but we try to keep things family friendly.
Not a problem. There seem to be
like, instead of the Geneva Convention, it's the Geneva Suggestion. So, I understand. I appreciate the $2, but let's try to keep it family friendly. So, vegetables I dislike. I don't like cooked carrots. I venomously hate cooked carrots. Vehemently. I just do not like cooked carrots. Cooked carrots, raw carrots, I'll eat raw carrots like a rabbit all day. But, like, cooked carrots? Nah. Nah. I'm not big on, like, eggplant, stuff like that. Not big on eggplant. Zucchini's fine. Boiled carrots? No. Hey, Mystic. How's it going? Welcome to the stream. Oof.
Sly. Just don't go out onto that balcony and you should remain undetected.
Yeah, people boil carrots. Broiled barbecued chicken breast. I mean, I'm sure I've had like variations of it.
Looks like the wings have been welded onto that
Hey,
statue.
another question. Are you more into sweet or salty snacks, or does it vary depending on the day? Ooh, it does. So, here's the thing. I can sit down and blast through salty snacks like crazy. I can only have a limited amount of sweet. So, I can't, like, for example, I can't sit down and, like, eat, I couldn't sit down and eat, like, a bunch of O. Henry bars, like the mini bars or whatever. I very seldom can I do that. There's a few things I can do it with, but like not often. But I still do get a sweet tooth, and it's very, and you know, I enjoy them. Salty snacks, I could sit down and just blast through like a whole bag of Miss Vicky's jalapeno chips. Oh my gosh, I love jalapeno chips.
That could be useful.
Right? Like, my gosh, I like that key to my heart jalapeno kettle cooked chips. Just delicious. Jean Bisson.
A member of the Claw Gang.
Jalapeno chips for one. Yeah, I love jalapeno chips. Jalapeno, and I like kettle cooked chips. So I could sit down and just blast through a bag of like kettle cooked chips. I love them. They're so good.
Another Claw Gang member. Arpeggio specializes in exotic technology.
I don't like kale. That's another one I don't like. I don't like kale. And so when everyone was going through that kale phase like 5-6 years ago, I was dying because every restaurant's like, yeah, our salad has kale in it. And I'm like, could you take it out, please? I genuinely do not like the taste of kale. I do not like the taste of kale. Am I going to... yes, we're going to stream Summer Game Fest. So, unfortunately, this year...
Carmelita's here, too. She must be undercover with the Contessa to help bust Rajan.
Hey, CG, which Xbox console do I have? I have the Xbox Series X. Yeah, I do. That's what I have, an Xbox Series X. Additionally... I am going to be streaming the Summer Game Fest and probably the rumored upcoming showcase.
That's all the photos I need. Bring them back to the safe house and we'll start building a game plan.
So, there is a little bit of an unfortunate thing for me, but, you know,
stealing the Clockwork Wings in the middle of a crowded ballroom is going to take some serious misdirection.
I can't stand
and
Rotten Tomatoes.
Of undercover cops
I'm okay with Rotten
things
Tomatoes. I'm
more
okay.
complicated. Although, we might be able to use them to our advantage. But no matter what we do in the ballroom, sooner or later we'll need to deal with Rajan's security chopper. Murray can take it out with some of the local armaments, but he won't be able to get inside the palace until Sly lowers the drawbridge for him.
Thanks, King Guy, for your sober take on the TFB website update. No problem. No problem. I won't be able to stream the Xbox event this year. Unfortunately, it lands on a Sunday, and as you guys know, the rule is no streams on Sundays. So, no stream on Sunday. So, if there is something Spyro related, there would be a follow-up video. Either Monday morning, or I would record my reaction to it, and then we would discuss and talk about it, or we would do a live stream, or if you guys wanted, I could try to just go la 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 with spoilers and then watch it live on Monday. Either or, we can try to figure something out. But I will not be able to stream on Sunday, unfortunately. Let's see here. keep going. Your lore is peak. I appreciate that. I appreciate that my lore is peak. My backstory. I'm going to give you my tragic backstory. I'm from Canada. That should be enough. Hawaiian habanero tortilla chips. Ooh, I'd be down to try that.
Sly, Murray and I can't get inside the palace unless you lower the drawbridge.
I'd love to, pal, but the winch is all locked down. You know where I can find the keys?
Key guards have recently taken up positions around the palace. Sneak in, pick all of
I
their
do like deviled
pockets,
eggs. Those are
and
very
bring
good.
the keys back to the lockdown winch.
Maybe just a simple recording. Yeah, maybe. See, I've never had fried green tomatoes. Never had them. Never had fried green tomatoes. Fried green tomats! The Legend of CGE. Ooh. But yes, there was a lot of takes about what the TFB thing was, and honestly, I was trying to keep it quiet. So I explained this. I knew about the if I would have known that everyone would have lost their mind when they saw the cryptic TFB face, maybe I would have talked about it earlier. But honestly, I didn't really think about it at the time. But when I saw Toys for Bob had their logo on the website, I wasn't sure if it was something that was intentional or whatnot, or if it was left up or whatever. So I kind of kept quiet about it because I'm like, all right, well, we're going to keep quiet and just see what happens. And we just kind of sat and waited, and it was up for 10 days. And then there were some people were reaching out to me. Shout out to LGBTQ, one of the people that reached out to me, that were reaching out saying, hey, did you see about this? And I was like, yeah, I saw that. Just kind of keeping it on the down low. So, seeing what happens. And then once some bigger news reporters got to it and it started to spread, I was like, all right, well, I think it's the best time to start talking about it. Because immediately people took it the wrong direction, and I was like, okay, I gotta fix this. Because people are taking it as, look, they're teasing the next Crash Bandicoot game. And I was like, no, that's not it. That's not it. It's not, no. And had to sit down and explain and, talk about it. And I was like, no, that's not it. There's even some people that were still commenting saying, like, how, like, you're just gonna cry when you find out it's not Spyro. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, bro, like, don't. Like, man, it's like, don't even talk to me like you know me. It's like, that was funny. That was funny. Do they know of the Tiki Lodge? Yeah, it's like, oh, Tiki immediately means Spyro. It's like, my favorite and least favorite fruit. I like mangoes. I like mangoes a lot. Like a good mango. I very much like mangoes. Ratio when it gets revealed. You see, here's the thing, though. That never happens to me. Every single time I get something right, a lot of the time it's just like it goes quiet, and then when I get something wrong, everyone remembers it. A lot of people remember when I'm wrong, but those same people don't remember when I was right. And actually, there was somebody that, like, said something sensible in the comment section where someone was saying that, all I'm doing is just spreading cope, and, how dare I. And then the person's like, actually, CG's got things right. And it's like, yeah, just because, he's been talking about Spyro 4 for so long, it doesn't mean that, nothing was in development. Just, things happen. When it comes to projects being in development, it can take a while. And I was like, yeah, see, there we go. Maybe we should remind them. I'm going to put you all on notice. just go and track every single person saying how I'm wrong, how I was going to be wrong, and then have like, you know, a DM ready. Ow. Oh, well, I got yeeted into the sun. Yeah, I mean, like, you know, even the like greatest reporters have gotten things wrong from time to time, right? Like, I remember one person's reason to not believe me is like, yeah, isn't this the guy that said that Crash Team Racing would get a PC port? And I'm sitting there and I'm like, is that really your bone of contention with me? Was that I said that it might happen? Here's my evidence as to why. That's your bone to pick with me, is a port for a game. Which, by the way, there was evidence for. Like, it wasn't like I was just pulling it out of my butt. And saying, hello, my baby, hello, my darling. Like, it's not what happened. If that's your bone of contention with me, is the Crash Team Racing PC port. Okay. And again, not to say I haven't been wrong. I've been wrong. Go. Michael Fish famously got the weather wrong in the UK, and the result was hundreds of thousands of pounds of damage from a storm he downplayed. Oh no. Yeah, it's gonna be nothing. It's just gonna be a little wet. You just need a little jacket. Meanwhile, sir, my house blew down. Scene from Spaceballs, yeah, which is also from Looney Tunes. Hello, my baby. Hello, my honey. Hello, my right-time gal. Or hello, my baby. Hello, my darling. Hello, my right-time gal. If you refuse me, honey, you lose me. You'll be left alone. Oh, baby, tell me. Oh, and by the by, again, what is with, like, all of these, companies having their game name Rumble in them? The past, like, I literally made a video. There's been 4 games that have been announced and or released in the past, like, year and a half that have the name Rumble in it. There's Crash Team Rumble, there's Sonic Rumble, there's Monkey Ball Banana Rumble, and then there's Warcraft Rumble. Can we use another name? Another word, please? Scramble? How about Crash Team Scramble? How about that? Or, you know, Q&R, Questions and Rambles. You know? That could work. Just everything has the name Rumble. Yeah, but isn't Pokemon Rumble like relatively old?
Noise to lure this guard from his post. Try ringing that gong and picking his pocket when he returns to his post.
Pickpocket, pickpocket. Thank you.
Good job, Sly. Now take those stolen keys back to the padlock window.
Crash Team Jamboree. I can hear you. Where are you? What's your favorite? What's your favorite to put on scrambled eggs? I like omelets. I don't mind, omelets with cheese, I suppose. Crash team fumble. Listen, I would, if I could surmise what the Crash Team Rumble setup was like. Imagine you're about to get ready for a race, and then your manager walks up behind you, ties your ankles together, and then ties your wrist to your ankle and says, "Okay, go run." And you look at your manager, you're like, "Sir, I can't run like this." You're like, "Well, you better try." Yeah, so if we were to surmise the basic gist of what happened for Rumble, it was that. Yeah, basically. It's literally Activision's, doing that. Why the game failed? Like, you would probably be the world's worst rabbit. I mean, I'm not against that statement. It's a weird statement, but I suppose I'm against. But hey, Toys, how's it going?
Thanks, Sly. Now Murray and I can access the palace grounds.
There we go. Boom, 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 boom. All right. Give me 1 second. I will be right back. I just gotta go to the bathroom real quick. I'll be back. I'll be back. I will be back. Oh, well. gotta take a quick call. Sorry about that. Hey, we got 2 donations. Thank you, thank you, thank you. No, phone call. Ring, 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 phone call. We got 2 donations that came in. Julie Liberty donated $10 to Super Chat. Thank you so much. Donation train, maybe? Hey, I appreciate that. Thank you. And then Elena donated $2. A gift from Toya's World. Aw, thank you, Toya's World and Elena, for the $2 Super Chat. Thank you so much. Phone calls happen. I get called. So, all right, here we go. Keep playing. Here we go. So I want to talk to you guys something real quick because some people really like the idea. Some people very... hey, Conky, how's it going? Some people really enjoyed the idea that I posted on Twitter. Some people did not agree with it. So I wanted to throw... And now, this isn't my final idea. It hasn't gone through trial and error. So it's just a quick, hey, flash-in-the-pan idea that I had for a new Sly Cooper game for a story. What if... Now, again, some people are going to be like, oh yeah, this idea is cool. There's going to be a bunch of people who are like, this idea is stupid. You're stupid. Why would you even breathe those words? You know, but here is the idea that I had. So, my thought process was, whether you agree with me or not, or whether you like the game or not, yay for it, nay against it, Sly Cooper 4 is a very controversial game. It is a game that a lot of people have a lot of opinions about. Some people believe that Sly Cooper 4 is the best. Some people believe that Sly Cooper 4 is the worst. There is a very, 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 very split, and it's polarizing. So I thought to myself, okay, would there be a way to be able to somehow figure out a way to do a game that kind of hits that happy medium of both worlds, right? How do you bank on the nostalgia while also, like, as a business, how do you bank on the nostalgia while also being a sequel to Sly Cooper 4? And I came up with an idea. And the idea I thought is, what if the next
Hello,
Sly...
I'm here for the dance.
One second. Dress like that?
Sorry, sir, but we have a dress code. You got a tuxedo?
No.
Sorry, pal. No tux, no entry.
Well. That's a break in.
Sorry, Sly. Somehow I totally overlooked the need for formal wear. That guy's not going to let you in without a tuxedo.
Don't beat yourself up, Bentley. At a party
Where's his
this
hat?
fancy, there has to be a spare penguin suit around here somewhere.
Try the guest house. Someone may have overpacked.
That was weird. Anyway. So what if, and again, just, you know, an in development idea, there was a way to be able to capitalize as on 1 being a remake, while 2 also being a sequel to Sly Cooper 4. The idea that I had was, what if it was a meta remake? Where, okay, it's Sly Cooper, they market it as kind of a remake, a reboot, you know, they market it as kind of a remake, a reboot, a retelling of the first game, right? But the large majority of it is, it's based off of Sly 1. So, you get into the game, and all the marketing shows it's Sly 1 and all this stuff, but then as you get closer to the game's release, trailers start to come out that show that something is not right. There's something wrong. Like, some people are noticing, hey, this character wasn't in the game, and hey, that character wasn't there, or hey, what's going on here? And the story of the game, I thought that would be cool, would be it starts off as Sly Cooper 1, but as the story goes on, things start going weird. You know, things start going strange, and it's like, what? This isn't what happened in the original game, but it's still kind of following the general gist. And the Thieves Raccoonus keeps talking about this being like a protector or a some sort of creature or some sort of thing that is kind of trying to protect something, try to protect the Cooper clan. And it's like, what? And Sly Cooper is sort of encountering this thing through his travels, and it's this shadowy, weird creature. And what we eventually find out is that this shadowy creature is kind of causing time things to go weird and wonky. And what we find out, the whole plot twist, is that the shadowy creature in the Thieves Raccoonus that's been watching over the family is Sly Cooper from Sly Cooper 4, being thrown back in time, and he's figured out some sort of way to be able to, he's trying to change the timeline so that he can correct things, get things back in order, and then try to make his way back to his timeline, get back to his place where he's supposed to be. And he's kind of, and it's kind of this twisting and turns of Sly, this mysterious person, this mysterious this entity, this weird shadow, what is going on, and he's in the Thieves Raccoonus, and it's very strange, very weird, very like, what is going on. And the person who's watching, now here's the thing, the story doesn't necessarily have to explicitly say that it is Sly from Sly Cooper 4. It can allude to it and kind of, reference it. And it's like, if you didn't play Sly Cooper 4, it would still be an interesting story. And if you did play Sly Cooper 4, you'd be like, oh my gosh, that's such and such. Right? Oh my gosh, that's Sly. That is Sly. And so it's, if you played 4, you know what it is. If you didn't play 4, you would still find interest in it.
The triangle button knocks guys up into the air, and the square button brings them down hard.
Take your dog at it. I hope that kind of makes sense a little bit. So it's like, it is a remake, but it also like isn't. But it's also a great opportunity because, for example, Sly Cooper 1 is so like different from the other two. Wouldn't it be cool if they did a remake that was kind of, imagine like the more open world aspect of 2 and 3, but reupholstered to one story and events? So it's like, okay, they're taking the original 1 story, reupholstering it to work like Sly Cooper 2 and 3, so it's kind of like going back and kind of modernizing it and having it make sense and thematically follow, but also it adds the story to 4. Right? Does that make sense? I hope it makes sense. But yeah, that would be... Now, of course, that's an undeveloped idea. Doesn't necessarily mean it's a great idea. It's just an idea that I thought, I was like, hey, this would be kind of an interesting idea. Because the mission in my mind was, how do you make... Because here's the thing. If we turn around and say, yeah, this is Sly Cooper 5, people are going to be upset because they're going to be like, oh, we're continuing from the worst one. Meh. And then you're like, oh, okay, well, then we're doing a reboot. And then people are going to be like, meh, you're ignoring the 4th one, the best one. Yeah. It's kind of like, oh, geez. It's this kind of mix-up that's kind of all over the place. Hannah, Vincent, how's it going? What do you think of that Crash Bandicoot tease from Toys for... Oh. Ha. 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 Yes, the Crash tease. Hi, Twitch. Hey, Daniel, how's it going?
Remember, the triangle button knocks guys up into the air, and the square button brings them down hard.
Well. Release the kindergarten. Oh, God. You guys saw my my comment about that, did you? Released a kindergarten cut. Oh gosh. Okay. Okay. So for those who don't understand the joke, there was somebody that commented something on my most recent video. They said that they loved the sarcasm in it. They thought it was great. And I mentioned, I said, yeah, there was a video there was a part of the video that I cut. And I gave a brief description. I said it involved kindergarten and orange and purple blocks. And now I guess a whole bunch of people saw that comment. And now they say he released a kindergarten cut. I'll give a little bit more detail to what the joke was. It was basically the idea was... it was kind of... The idea of the joke was going to be, there was going to be a whole bunch of, like, there was going to be, the idea was going to be talking like I was talking to a kindergartner, like just kind of making fun. And I had like a bunch of blocks set up on the screen. And the idea was going to be like, it was one of the purple blocks was going to be at the front. And it was going to say, like, Sprash, and the other, or SP Sprash, and the other one was going to be, like, Cryo or whatever, or Cairo or whatever, and it was going to be, like, does this make sense? No! Like, you know, but the CR was going to be orange, but it was, it was a... Good night, Julie, take care. And that was the... the idea was basically saying, does this make sense? No, clearly it doesn't. And it was, you know, like all the blocks that were Crash were orange, all the blocks that were Spyro were purple, and it was kind of, you know, making fun of the idea of mismatching and saying that that's what it looks like. So that was...
This is Rajad's room. Stay sharp. He's probably got extra security.
That was the idea of the joke. But I cut it because it would have taken too long, and I wanted to get the video out sooner rather than later. And I wasn't going to about to delay the video for like 3 to 4 hours or release it super late just for one joke, because I would have had to done a little bit more work with that joke. So I was like, all right, we'll drop this joke, because just for the sake of time for editing. But that was why it was dropped. It wasn't dropped for, you know, no reason beyond that. When are they going to announce the game tomorrow? I have no idea. Release the joke as a short. Maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll just release it as a short or something. That's a good idea. Dance shoes! Man, Rajan sleeps with snakes beside him? Jeez Louise. Do it.
Try another room.
When do I suspect? So I have 3 times that I expect it, and it's either going to be at the Xbox Showcase or Summer Game Fest or Summer Game Mess or whatever they want to call it. The anniversary of Spyro, so in September, and or the Game Awards. That's kind of the gist of what I think. Now, they could do a logo reveal. They could do a logo reveal. which is something that I think is very possible. Is it going to happen? I'll say this: each day that passes, that when that when that website isn't updated, there's a little part of me that thinks maybe, because what people don't realize is that website hasn't been updated now for like 11 days now, 10 days, 11 days. It hasn't been updated. So my question is when is it going to be updated, right? Like, when's it going to go live? And when it goes live, is there going to be something to show? Is there going to be something to present? Is there going to, like, what's the, you know, what's it going to be like? When's it going to be like? I don't know, right? And that's kind of where I'm at right now. If things went perfectly, we would get a logo, like, this is perfect. Like, this is literally perfect. Perfection would be some sort of logo reveal or developer update or whatnot. You know, if they were like, and now time from an update from one of our third-party partners. And then you pop on, you see Avery Lodato and Paul Yan. Hey, everybody, I'm Paul Yan. This is Avery Lodato. We are the directors at Toys for Bob. Toys for Bob is gone indie, and our first game has been partnered up with Xbox. We're so excited to share new worlds with you. Blah blah blah. Blah. Here's you know, and we're happy to announce this. And then they show a quick little trailer. Nothing crazy. It says Spyro is now in development. Stay tuned for more details. Then on the anniversary, they give a little bit more, and then at Summer Game Fest, they do the first official big trailer. So that was like that. When I charted that out in my head, I was like, that would be like the perfect way to do it, in my opinion. If it was a remake of Enter the Dragonfly, I would be initially very disappointed, but at the same token of time, I would also just be happy that there is some Spyro content, and not just that. Letting Toys for Bob develop it, I'm sure that they would be able to figure something out to make it even better than before. I mean, they kind of did the Obsolete Mule with, what's it called? With Dragon Age Dreadwolf. That's exactly what they did. They're like, yeah, here's some animation tests. That's all we got. And that was it. That was it. It was like, here's some animation tests. And that's all we got. And I was like, all right, well, I mean, you know, it was nice to know that it's in development. I would love to see them come back with some, like, Mass Effect, though. That would be another game I would love to see. Like, I would love to see the thought process behind it. Like, okay, how do we bring this back? Here we go. Here we go. Oof. We don't know when it's going to be happening. If I was a gambling man, which again I'm not, I would put like either the later half of May in a couple, you know, within the next 2 weeks. I would say within the next 3 weeks. We're gonna see within the next three, like it go live within the next 3 weeks. That I think would be a reasonable estimate. You know, maybe a smidge more.
That's it. Now that you've got a complete
No, within 3
tuxedo,
weeks. I think
the
within
doorman
3
will
weeks.
let you into the ballroom.
Boom, boom, boom. Now I gotta get out of here. Boing. If it turns out to be Knack, I am going to just unravel myself. But I legitimately do have a hope that there is something Sly Cooper related. I do. If not at the showcase, then maybe at the place at the Summer Game Fest. Never been a fan of Knack, if I'm going to be completely honest. Not been a fan. Not a fan. Get out here with your Billy Goat call. Ape Escape would be wild. That would be the, like, a dark horse out of nowhere would be Ape Escape.
You got your tuxedo now, sir?
Of course I do. I'm here to dance.
Then come on in.
Right, is this the rhythm game where I get to dance with Carmelita?
Your tuxedo disguise is working perfectly. No one will recognize you in that outfit. Now, during the heist, you'll need to dance with Carmelita to keep both her and the crowd distracted. The only problem is, she's picky about dance partners, so you'll need to impress her first.
All right, I know just the girl for the job.
Oh boy.
Constable Neela, you look lovely this evening.
I'm sorry. Do I know you?
I used to chase after you back in Paris.
Paris? Sly Cooper? You aren't by any chance here to turn yourself in? Old Ironsides would fall out of her dress.
As good as that sounds, how about a dance first?
Enchanté.
Enchanté. Alright. Here we go. Why is she looking like she's
Try to
constipated?
memorize the steps. Now your turn.
Triangle. Triangle. Circle. Triangle. Triangle. Circle. Circle. Triangle. X. Circle. Triangle. X. Circle. Triangle. Circle. Circle. Triangle. Circle.
Are you using me to get at Old Ironsides?
Yes, I am. Do you mind?
Not at all.
At least he's honest. Triangle. X. Triangle. Triangle. X. Triangle.
Lovely.
Circle. Triangle. X. Circle. Triangle. X. Triangle. Triangle. Square. Triangle. Triangle. Square.
Nice.
X. Triangle. X. X. Triangle. X.
That fellow is very graceful.
If only you moved spice shipments as well.
Silence.
XX. Triangle. Circle. XX. Triangle. Circle. circle, X, triangle. Triangle, circle, X, triangle. You got it.
Delicious.
Triangle, circle. Don't throw me off my game, Neela! Claw. Triangle, X, circle, X. Triangle, X, circle, X.
Yes.
Circle, X. Circle, X. Circle, triangle, square. Circle, triangle, square.
Thank you. That was delightful.
Thank you, Constable Neela. After all, it takes two to tango.
Oh yeah, the belly dancing
And three
incident.
is always a crowd. Neela, your friend here is quite an accomplished dancer. I tried to make him look good. Please, Neela, his skills far surpass you.
Perhaps later you and I might share a dance,
Miss Fox. Carmelita Fox. And I accept.
Like, have you seen any other raccoon in this world, Carmelita? Pause for a second. Like, ma'am, my ham, okay? My ham, okay? I haven't seen one other raccoon in this world, okay? Sly is the only raccoon that so far. And you just over your head, you wouldn't be like, even if you couldn't recognize, what a raccoon. I don't like raccoons. No. Just look at him dance. I want to dance with you. Yeah, seriously. A raccoon has, with a giant ring tail. It's not even like he's hiding his tail to like make him look like he's something else. No, he's got his tail out in the open. You know, he's got his tail waving in the wind for everyone to see, exposed as anything. You know, with his tail out. Sun's out, tail's out. And she's just like, there's been a raccoon I've been following that's been causing me problems. And in this black tie event, there's a raccoon suddenly here. It's like, a platypus puts a hat on. Parrot the platypus! It's basically exactly it. Like, come on, have a little. There's a comment that we say around the house. Use your eyes, Bert. Hey, Hannah Vincent donated $20. Biggest donation of the night. Thank you, Hannah, for the $20 super chat. Well, I gotta go. Wanted to donate at least once tonight. Have fun playing Sply. I can read, I promise. Hope I feel better tomorrow since I do have to work that day. Well, I hope that you feel better as well. Thank you so much for the big old $20. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thank you so much, Hannah. I appreciate that. Genuinely, I do. Thank you so much. That's awesome of you. That's very kind of you. Very sweet of you. Thank you. What did I just get the message for? Hold on. I have to check the messages. Protector Cortex. Okay, we're good. Sometimes you gotta check the messages. Come on, Murray. You know something? There was something that I was looking up earlier because I was wondering. I was like, man, like I was wondering. I was like, could they replace or would they replace the engine? Go check the mail.
Dr. Cortex, I don't know how to operate the mailbox. There's no buttons. There's just this lever. And I raise the lever, and it falls down. What a useless invention. Just delivered by rockets. Engine likes rockets.
Okay, up here. I can see every. There we go. Thank you. But what I was saying was that the voice actors for like the voice actors for Sly Cooper, I thought that they had like bigger roles outside of Sly, and there's not much. They don't do much outside of Sly, so I was like, are they gonna go Hollywood on us and try to replace the voice actors with people that are more well known? I'm like, yeah, I think a lot of people would be upset about that.
Chopper is a menace to all future aerial operations while on this job.
Yeah, it's all covered in missiles and guns and stuff.
Now,
Did someone say missile?
get out with that rusty three-horn turret.
Okay, I had a potato gun once. I'll bet it works just the same.
Yeah, that's Chris Bad Sly. Oh no. Oh no.
Hit buttons fast to keep your strength up.
Do you know who, like, if they couldn't, if they decided not to go with Kevin Miller, I feel like Robbie Damon would be a really good option if they had to.
Use the left analog stick.
I would prefer if they brought Kevin Miller, but if they were like, we need a more like well-known name, I wouldn't be against Robbie Damon. I would like to hear his take on Sly.
Shoot down the enemy missiles before they hit you.
I feel like he could do it. Like I said, in context, I would prefer Kevin Miller. But if they're like, we gotta go Hollywood on this one, and we need to get bigger voice actors that we know that are within our like ecosystem, then I wouldn't mind seeing Robbie. Come on, Again, that's just the whole if. I would prefer, but if they were like, we need someone like an air quote in-network voice actor, which is kind of a thing where there are, where it's like, yeah, and Robbie Damon is an in-network voice actor. He did Pinstripe, he did Hunter, he's done a couple of the Norms. He's also in-house for Xbox, in-house, but like, he's also did work for Xbox as well with Chai and Hi-Fi Rush. I would be interested. But my strong preference is, of course, the original voice actors. There we go.
Very triumphant.
Good work. The sky's all clear.
All right, boys, we're ready for the next phase. My plan to get at the clockwork wings requires the use of the electric winch above the ballroom. To get control over the device, I'll need to hack the computers in
I've shot a real gun once and then shoot like a potato gun. Yeah, I've shot real guns multiple times. It's not, it's not
to make a
like
saw
a
blade
potato
that
gun.
durable, I'll need Sly to steal the gems
At all.
off the headdresses on Rajan's prize elephants. And finally, I'll take to the field with my remote control helicopter and nullify the palace's surface-to-air defenses.
Aw, Midas.
That should clear things up for the heist.
Thank you. A reminder that we appreciate you and your content. Thank you. Thank you so much. I definitely do need that reminder here and there because boy howdy, boy howdy, is it not fun sometimes? Sometimes it's like I'm alone and no one likes me, and then I have people remind me. I'm like, okay, a few people like me. That's all I need, just a few. Boy howdy, some of the blowback that I've gotten. But I try to listen to the positivity. I try. Do I always achieve that? No. I am going to be forthwith, no. I don't always achieve that. But I'm trying. I'm trying to remember. I'm trying to keep myself reminded that there are people that still very much enjoy my content. Hey, thank you, Conky. Thank you so much. I second Midas' message. Keep up the great work, my dude. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate that, Conky. Thank you. For 47 months, that's crazy. Love bomb this man.
I don't know, Bentley.
I'll take a love bomb.
Heavy. Maybe I can crawl on that hole under the steps and find an alternate route.
Forgot. Yeah, break open the elephant pens. That's right. Elephant rampage. Oh, that's old text. That's old text. I forgot to change it.
Just scared, went up and freaked out the prize elephants. They're now outside, rampaging around the palace.
Yes, the Great Beverage War. Can't be a box of puppies. Not that I don't like kittens. I love kittens, but they make me sneeze.
Wow, you sure look spooked.
A job well done, Sly. Now comes the hard part. I need you to snatch the headdress jewels worn by both elephants. The jewels are firmly embedded, so keep whacking at them with your cane to knock one loose.
I'll need to
But
make use of the
if someone gave me a
rooftops to get to one of the
basket of
elephants'
puppies,
backs.
I would literally
It shouldn't
sob.
be a problem.
I would also enjoy a box of kittens, but I would start sneezing and dying. But I would still hold one, and I would still think it's adorable. Even though my eyes would be bleeding. Sure, I'll hold bunnies. Oh no, my favorite breed of dog that I think are just the funniest, happiest little guys are dachshunds. or as some call them, wiener dogs. They're just happy little guys. They're just happy little guys. And they're long and they're funny. And I love them. What in the world happened there? I got like launched forward. They are funny. They are. They are funny. They are funny. Jim Ryan dogs. Ha! That's I like that. That's funny. Remove your crystals, Mr. Elephants. Come here, you overgrown pachyderm. That's okay, Roaming Warrior. You don't have to apologize. Never apologize for not making a stream. We're not keeping tallies. We're like, oh, so and so wasn't here. No, gosh, no. It's not an exclusive club. If any live streamer is keeping register of whether or not you're there or not, find another live streamer to watch. That sounds like an incredibly toxic live streamer. Don't do that. Like, you're not attending enough, you're not supporting me. That sounds like, yeah, go elsewhere. For your own mental health sake. How dare you not turn up? You didn't turn up. You radished. I kill myself sometimes. You didn't turn up, you radished. That's awful. I'm sorry. Cancelled you are. Now you are radished. Digger, Danny, thank you so much for stopping by. I know some people that block you if you unfollow them. See, I would be bad for that because for some reason, Twitter will just unfollow people for me. Like, I'll be like, oh yeah, I follow this person. And it's like, no, you don't. I'm like, but I do. I swear I do. I follow them. I don't know if he's here or not, but it has happened so many times for me trying to follow, like, a Trev. I don't know why. It's happened, like, twice, specifically, where, like, I'm like, yeah, I'm going to follow Trev. And I follow Trev because Trev is awesome. Trev is amazing. And it's like, no, you're not. I'm like, but I am. I know that I am. I follow Trev. Why is Twitter unfollowing me from Trev? Twitter, this is not cool. And then I start getting social anxiety thinking like, does he think I unfollowed him? I didn't do it. I swear. You know. I did didn't do this right, but we should... Oh, I thought we were going to recover. Gem for Saw Blade.
That's it. With these jewels, I can make an ultra-hard radial saw for the heist.
Yeah, Trev is an awesome guy. That's why I'm looking at Twitter like, don't stop doing that. Like, stop it. Oh. This, you know. Yet Trev is, and that's why I was like, you know, that's why I was like, but I don't know why it specifically was happening for Trev. I don't know why. It's happened for a few others. It's happened for a few others. But, for specifically, though, Trev, it happened multiple times. I was like, why? Yeah, I did play a little bit of Crash Team Rumble yesterday. Just a few matches, just so I can get some footage for something. I cried a little. It was a little saddening. So I was just like, yeah. Hello, darkness, my old friend. I got a couple matches in, but still, I'm having a real struggle playing Rumble. I am having a really hard time playing Rumble. Rumble is going to forever be a game that will forever be pain for me.
Bentley, what's your status? I'm in position with the RC chopper. All systems are go.
Oh no, not the RC chopper!
Defenses. We're going to need free reign of the sky during the heist. Well, be careful. Chopper parts aren't cheap. Hostile has been sighted. Hey, Bentley, use the left analog stick to steer the chopper and hit the X button to drop bombs. If you
Bombs?
lose track of the Jeep, I'll project a holographic targeting arrow. Follow it back into the action.
I have bombs. No, when I play Rumble,
Launching missiles. Turn hard to dodge them.
I remember there's no way that you, in my opinion, as a content creator, there's no way not to be emotional when it comes to Rumble when the amount of coverage I did on that game. There's no way. Again, this isn't sitting here pounding my chest like I'm the best at something, and the only thing that I think I can lay claim to, but it's not, unfortunately, anguish. I feel that, Bentley. It's unfortunately not something that I can really hang my hat on a little bit, but I believe just by the numbers, strictly by the numbers, I was the #1 Crash Team Rumble content creator. Now, again, this is strictly by the numbers.
That Jeep's out of commission and we'll have clear skies for the heist.
Strictly by the numbers. When it came to views, subscribers, videos, people watching the stream or whatnot, I was the #1. I think, in my opinion, I believe that I was the #1 Crash Team Rumble content creator. Not saying I was the best at it. I'm not saying that, no one could beat me. That wasn't, not in terms of skill, absolutely not. But in terms of the numbers, in terms of stats, yes. But there's a problem when the #1 content creator for Crash Team Rumble can only produce a video that at most will get 15,000 views. That's a problem. That's a problem. That is a problem. That is an issue, right? If the number one person in general, in terms of consistency, in terms of all that, can only get a video that gets up to about 15,000 views at most, or and averages at about 10,000 views per video, and then 20,000 if you're lucky, if I'm lucky, that's a problem. That's an issue, right? That's a significant issue. But anyway, when I was playing it, there was a moment that I sat there and I was just like, oh, this sucks. I sat there and I was just like, this sucks. And what it was when I sat there and I hopped into matchmaking. I sat there, I got into matchmaking, and it took a little bit to get into a game. It took a while, and then there was a lobby, and we sat in the lobby for a few minutes, and then finally, we had enough to start getting the game together. And granted, it was early in the morning, and it wasn't like super early in the morning, but it was like 9, 10 o'clock, and during a weekday, so people are at school and stuff. So I get it. I understand it. It's not going to be a game that's always going to have all these people. But the problem was that I sat there and I was just like, man, I remember when we'd be able to hop into a lobby for Rumble, and it was like so many people were playing, and it was so easy to be able to get into a match. It wasn't hard. It wasn't difficult. It was just like, and wham, bam, here we go. Here's your wham, bam, what's up, ma'am? Here's your match. And that was it. And it was just like, yeah, geez, this was great. This was awesome. This was a blast. Excuse me, where am I going? And yeah, like we got enough. Like we got enough to start to get a couple rounds in, and that was great. But it still sucked because I remember I was like, man, I remember when I used to be able to get into lobbies just like that. It was not hard. It was easy. Barely any bots. And then, we're sitting there, we're waiting 10, 15 minutes to get into a match, or we're in a lobby and we're sitting there, we're waiting for 3 more people because the game can't start without them, and it's just like, this sucks. Like, this really sucks. And I'm just like, gosh. So, but the point that I'm trying to make too here is that, like, when you're the #1 content creator in something and you're seeing it's not growing in terms of interest, in terms of views, in terms of all it, when you see it's not growing, it's sad. And it's unfortunate, and it makes me upset. And I'm still upset about it. And I was like, all in my head, what I was thinking when I was making, because it's part of the reason why I stopped doing the Rumble 101 videos. Part of the reason, here, I'm going to quickly pause this just to explain this. Part of the reason why I stopped doing the Rumble 101 videos is because they weren't the game wasn't attracting enough new players. But I was collecting enough footage to be able to pump out a bunch of Rumble 101s if for some reason the game went free to, or when the game went free to play, I was ready to go. And it was like, boom, 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 new, all I was thinking to myself was, when this goes free to play, this game's going to surge. When this game goes free to play, this game's going to surge. You're going to have all your content already seeded. People are going to hop on, start looking up guides, and you're going to have a whole set of guides. You're going to have every character guide. It's going to be great. It's going to be grand. It's going to be fantastic. No problems. And then they didn't even let it go free to play. And that, to me, was the stake in the heart for me. That's what killed me. That's what made me feel so upset. Was the fact that they didn't even turn around and say, here it is, free to play. Like,
so you want me to crawl under each till I find it?
That's the idea.
That to me was why? Like, why didn't you?
I don't see any code.
Try another table. It's here somewhere.
Right? Like, why didn't you? Why didn't you at least turn around and say, okay, let's go the Spyro season free to play. That's it. Spyro season free to play. And then if it does well, we'll get a store out next season. That's it. And that to me is the biggest flub ever. Why didn't it go free to play? And I don't blame Toys for Bob for that at all. I don't. I don't blame Toys for Bob. I mean, it is nice to see that there is an active Rumble community, but the thing is that unless within the realm of reason,
No code here.
within the realm of reason, it's only going to be a matter of time before
This table doesn't have the code.
even that pitters out, right?
This is it.
Fantastic. Now, type the code into the vault's laser door entrance.
4, 6. Do I have to memorize this? I swear, if you're gonna make me pull out a paper and pen. Okay, good.
Nice work. Make your way to the security lockdown switch and let in me and Murray.
I really wish that they turned around and they made it free to play and then just sit there and say, okay, let's see what happens. And then all of a sudden, wow, everybody loves it as a free to play. It's fantastic. Look at all the monthly active users we have, and look at all the people playing it, and look how balanced the game is, and Spyro, and you know, and be like, okay, now we got something. Now we got something rolling.
I'd love to see the look on Rashad's
Right.
face when he finds this vault empty. The code should be 857.
And insanity strike. How do I do that?
You've gotten the insanity strike move.
And I don't mean to, be, like all, espresso depresso when it comes to this stuff, but it sucks. It sucks. And I really wanted it to work. I really
Thanks for
did.
breaking us in, pal. The Murray approves.
Let's get down to brass tacks.
But
I need to hack both the vault room computers to get control of the electronic winch above the ballroom.
So what are me and Sly here for?
The second I enter their servers, they'll be on to us. You guys need to work together
no problem,
to keep
Midas.
the thugs off my back.
You and me, pal, side by side.
The Murray knows no fear.
Okay, I'm in.
Here we go.
Hacking the level 6 barrier.
Do it to play as Murray? Yes, good. Enjoy your friend. And I almost want to do like an investigative piece, like where I literally sit down and interview a bunch of the devs that worked on the game and ask, hey, full context, what happened? Like, that's it. Like, and I know it sounds, and I know it sounds simple, but literally just tell me from the beginning. I would love to do a documentary where I sit down and just interview and just be like, okay, we know this happened. Like, okay, step us through from the beginning so that we can have a clear understanding. Here's what happened. Here's what went wrong. Here's what went right. Here were the obstacles, and here's why it didn't work out. right? So it's like, okay, now we have at least a definitive answer, and you know, we can learn something. Because if there's one thing that I can maybe do, it's how could we make sure that what happened to Rumble never happens again? Was any of it preventable? You know, and I would want to, what I want to do as well is set aside the preconceived notion that we know exactly what happened, or at least have an idea as to what happened, and sit down and be like, okay, clean slate. We have a bunch of assumptions. We have a bunch of assumptions. We have a bunch of thoughts that we had, but let's set those aside. Start from the beginning. Go from there.
This is tense. I can taste it. I'm unstoppable. I've got control of the winch. Thanks for the backup, guys.
No problem. Me and the big guy had it covered.
Murray, let's hook up the direct feed and get out of here while the coast is clear.
And the thing is too, and again, this was a point that someone brought up, which was true, is that, okay, like, hold on, let me...
Okay, synchronize your watches. This heist is going to take extreme precision.
Here we go.
Here's the plan. I'll start things off by demolishing the palace's main bridge. That should cut off reinforcements from the guest house and hopefully distract the ballroom guards standing watch over the clockwork wings. Sly will then take Carmelita up on her offer for a dance, and while the crowd is transfixed by their tango, Murray will lower into the ballroom on the electronic winch.
This bit's
Once down,
great.
He'll cut the wings free and then winch back up for an exit. Murray should then make his way out of the palace. I'll cover his exit with the RC chopper. Once he's past the drawbridge, we're home free.
That bit of just like dancing with Carmelita and just seeing Murray lowering in is one of the best bits in the entire game. Give me a second. I gotta run to the bathroom real quick, and I gotta have a conversation with my wife. I can hear she's out there, so I need to have a quick conversation with her. I will be right back.
Yeah.
Break time. Ugh. My neck wants to pop. Give me a second. There it is. I have to. It sounds weird, but I have to. If I go to crack my neck, I have to like be careful because if I mess it up, it won't crack. I won't get the relief, and it just hurts. Alright, let's go, Ben. Keep running, Bentley. Run! Run as fast as you can. Hold on a second. Sorry, just something just hit my brain. Okay, never mind. Sorry, just something, just random thought hit my brain. All right. Anyway, the legs, yeah. Yes, Bentley can run.
Okay, Bentley. Murray and I are moving into position. You still think you can demolish something that large?
It doesn't take an engineer to figure out how to blow up a bridge. I'll start by placing charges on all of the lower cleats. Once the structure destabilizes, those retainer rings on the upper cleats should pop right off. That should enable me to bomb all of the upper cleats, which will bring it all crashing down.
Just watch your head when that thing gets unstable. We need that brain of yours in one piece.
In charge of the new Spyro movie. I think first of all you would still need to have like Tom Kenny as a.
All of the lower cleats before I can take out any of the ones up here.
You know, I think you still need to have Tom Kenny as Spyro, and because you know Tom Kenny is kind of basically a celebrity, so I think that that's okay to go with. Oh no. Oh no. I would have for celebrity voices.
One more cleat and this bridge is going down.
I would also like.
Okay, Sly, the bridge is down. I'll warm up the van and get ready with the RC chopper. Good luck.
Oh yeah, also, my fingers pop like popcorn.
The bridge is destroyed. Take all the manpower you need and look into it.
Murray, you in position?
Check.
It looks like Bentley's little distraction did the trick. Initiate phase 2. I'll take care of Carmelita and the crowd. You handle the heavy lifting.
Here we go. You ready? You ready to
Miss
dance?
Fox, I believe you owe me a dance.
About time. I thought you had left.
Just waiting for the perfect moment.
This close, you can't tell. Murray in the back. Triangle, circle. Triangle. triangle, circle. I'm gonna try my best because I'm distracted by Murray. XX, triangle, X, circle, triangle, square, circle, triangle, square.
You look familiar to me. Are you in law enforcement?
I often deal with police while on the job.
Triangle, X, triangle, X, triangle, X, or triangle, triangle, circle, X, triangle, circle, X, circle, circle, X, square, circle, circle, X, square, X, triangle, X, X, triangle, X. Don't mind the grinding, the XX, triangle, triangle, XX, triangle, 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 circle, circle, triangle, triangle, circle, circle, triangle.
Nice.
Sorry, triangle, X, triangle, 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 X, triangle, 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 X, X square, triangle, X, X square, circle, 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 X, circle, 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 X, triangle, X, circle, triangle, X, circle.
Tell me, stranger, what's your name?
Why ruin the moment?
Huh? I don't understand.
The wings! What happened to the clockwork wings?
What? How? Who could have? What? Cooper!
Clockwork's wings. Aw, yeah.
Murray, I'll cover your escape with the RC chopper. Let me worry about the guards. You just keep moving.
Don't worry about the guards, Murray. We're just gonna bomb them from up high. Don't worry about it.
These things are heavy.
Murray, where are you going?
This is tense.
Ah! Why can't this just sit still? Why does this feel like it's like
Nice flying, Bentley.
I can't just keep the chopper still? It's like, ah, yes, butter controls. That's what we need. Butter controls. It's like, why? Why? Why you gotta do this?
Not far to go.
Come on, Murray. I'm driving on butter. That would be too easy. I know, it would be.
Punch it.
The sun's still out for you? Black as night.
After the gang and I got away with
Time
the
difference,
clockwork
probably.
wings, Carmelita blew her cover and started making arrests left and right. With his reputation in shambles, Rajan was forced to flee from his own party. He's now in hiding, somewhere deep in the jungle. The gang and I took a break and headed for Bollywood. It took some doing, but we eventually snuck Murray onto the set of a full-blown Indian musical. I was happy the guys got to unwind, but Rajan was still out there. And somehow, I knew things were about to get tough.
I love how, like, intimidating he looks in his comics, but then his model, he kind of looks slack-jawed and kind of just Muppet-like almost. Like, look how, like, look at that face. that face, like he kills people for fun. Like, look at that face. The predator awakes.
It took some detective work, but the gang and I managed to track down where Rajan had gone into hiding. Somehow, he'd managed to transform a long-forgotten temple into the thriving center of his spice operation. And it's there where we'll find him.
Spice.
The jungle,
That's
too
what
thick
it
to
is.
drive through, forced us to walk the long distance to our target. We ran into a few problems.
Oh, I
along
thought he
the
was
way,
about to try to eat
but
his own
pushed
arm.
on. For the temple was more than just Rajan's hideout. It was also home to the Clockwork Heart. A pump so strong and tireless, it could increase spice production tenfold. Good for Rajan, but awful for the rest of the world. Hope he's not counting on that heart too much, because tonight, it comes home with me.
Bum, 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 bum. Predator awakes. All right, so I'm probably going to stream for another 20 minutes, and then we're going to go to Q&R. Boom, 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 boom. So, I'm trying to, like, I get these abilities, but I don't know how to activate them or use them. Is there a way to, like, I remember in Sly 3 you could assign things, but I'm trying to remember. Equip power up, that's right. Okay, hold on. That's right, okay. I've had all these things, okay. Combat dodge. I know smoke bomb is really good. So we'll go with no, L2. Combat dodge will be stealth slide. We'll go with L1. And then R2 will be so you start confusing your enemies with attacking each other with a tap of your cane. Press R2 the trigger. Okay. Yeah, alright, let's give it a shot. So just to double check. Don't die. That does that. And how do you recharge that again? Take care of Pokemon Trainer Jaden. Just want to see how that works. Yeah. Go get him. Go play tag with your friends. Don't mind if I do. Well, he's dead. Boy. Okay, so now where have to go again? I have to go Spice Room Recon. It's way over there. Okay. No one can swim. Nobody. Nobody. Not even the water-based animals. No one can swim. Shabuya. Leave me alone. Leave me alone.
Sneak into the temple and take some recon photos so I can assess the situation. Just be careful. If you get hurt, the nearest hospital is 106 miles from here.
That's
According
it?
to my map of the area, there should be a hidden passage into the temple behind that waterfall.
Nice work, Bentley. I'll take a hidden passage over the front door any day.
There's a glass bottle over here. Hit that. Get over here. Don't die. Go up to here. What? No software update for 4K downloader. Thank you. Yeah, no, the game does cut. So if I click like on a monitor over here, for some reason the screen goes black for a moment. Pickpocket, 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 and shamack. There we go. I mean, I wish I could get the pre-order bonus. I don't even know what it is. I can't even afford to get 1,000-year door. Gold pen, pickpocket. Shibuya. The plan very soon is to try to get this Etsy store launched. It's been something that's been I've been trying to get done. I've ordered boxes. I've got things printed, ready to put into the store. It's just been one of those things where it's just constantly like things keep coming up. Oof. But yeah, I'm excited to get that Etsy store open for 3D printing stuff. The idea will be to get some crystal dragons on there, some Spyros. I got a question, and this might be oddly specific. Does anybody know or have played or heard of a card game called Lorcana? For those who might be like, that sounds familiar, it was or is a Disney card game. So basically, it's like a trading card game that's all Disney based. And it's basically Disney's answer to like Hearthstone, Magic the Gathering. kind of card game, tabletop gameplay. And I had a friend of mine actually reach out to me and was just like, hey, you know, I really would, you know, he's like, I play Lorcana. Can you, you know, 3D print something for me? And I did, and I figured something out. I printed this little tray here. It's got, I actually designed this. It's a tray here, and in the center you can see the Lorcana logo. This was a prototype. And yeah, this was something that I made, and it was something that I was just like, okay, this is kind of cool. And yeah, and I that's the first custom model I made. It holds your cards and all your like markers and stuff. And yeah,
Bingo, you found the spice growing facility. Now,
I thought it was
I know of photosynthesis, all the expensive equipment
I'll, you know,
should be
I was gonna
found
throw
in
that in
the
the
top of
Etsy
this
shop
room.
too if someone else was interested,
That
but
access tube should get you up
we'll see.
All right, I'll head for the top.
All right. Probably get enough time to do the recon photos and then probably end the stream, or at least go to Q&R. Shabuya. I don't know, Bob the Red. Because it sounds like it. Don't die. Pickpocket! 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 Nighty night. Nope. And up we go. Go. Alright, let's see where this leads me. Bat snake.
Some of the vines around here are really slippery. Jump and hit the circle button to go for a ride.
Slippery. Tiptoe in. There we go.
Here we go. Time for a few recon photos. Looks like half of the heart is being used to super irrigate the spice plants. Check it out. Rajan's carrying half the clockwork heart on that stick.
Jeez. Talk about wearing your heart on your sleeve.
That crane is keeping half of the heart suspended. There's the entrance to this level, only I can't figure out how to get in here from the temple's exterior. Bring those photos back to the safe house. We'll really need to think about this one.
Boom, 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 boom. All right, we'll let Bentley say his plan, and then we're going to go to Q&R.
The clockwork heart is under some steep security. Heck, Rajan is carrying half of it at all times. To get at the goods, I'll need to gather some more information. Sly will plant a bug in Rajan's office, while I lift the spice operation blueprints off the Spice Lord while he makes his rounds. Unfortunately, while we're collecting intelligence on him, he'll be collecting data on us with an elephant-driven satellite array. Take it out, or he'll be able to intercept all of our communications.
Oh. All right. ladies and gents, that is all the time that I have for tonight for the game. But we do have some time open for some Q and R. So if you guys got any questions, please fire them away, and I will try my very best, like no one ever was, to answer the questions. Try my best. Can't say I'll answer all the questions, especially since at the start of the stream it was like, huh. Oof. How many fingers am I holding up? 3. Is that sufficient? What graphics card do you have for your PC? Let me double check. I can actually check that real quick now because of my PC running a lot better. So I can quickly check that. I am running a NVIDIA GeForce RTX 470 Ti with 12 gigs of VRAM. Ugh. So, yeah. That is what I'm running. I'm running a 470 Ti. What's the best food that you've ever ate? I don't know. I'm trying to think. It's weird. I get weird when people ask me like, "What's my favorite like food?" Cause like, I don't know. A lot of things from my childhood come up, but you know, I think a classic like a classic spaghetti from my mom. Something that's hard to beat for me. If given the choice, would you want Crash Team Rumble 2 or Racing 2? If I was super duper selfish, if I was like beyond selfish, like I just thought of me and nothing else, I might go with Rumble 2 just to see it come back. But I know that it would be better if I went with Crash Team Racing 2. And not that I wouldn't enjoy Crash Team Racing 2. I would love a Crash Team Racing 2. I would love it. But I also know I would also know that it would likely do better because Rumble's name has now been sullied. Rumble's name has kind of been sullied, so you know anything with that is going to have an uphill battle. There's a way to fight back against it, but if they turn around and say, hey, we're releasing Rumble 2, there's going to be a bunch of people that are just going to bring up the first Rumble, how that flopped. So, yeah. I just want to be surprised, Elena, but I appreciate that. Who do you think will make the next Crash game? You know, I don't know. I genuinely don't know. I genuinely don't know the fate of Crash right now. I know that he is going to like get more games, but I'm hoping that, you know, Crash and that, you know, Toys for Bob is able to make Spyro so good that that they basically be given a big enough team to be like, all right, one team works on Spyro, one team works on Crash, go. So I think that would be really nice. What's the one thing that makes you rage but you can't control because that's just life? Bills. Got a lot of them. Something I think about day to day, something I try to, overcome, something I try to, mentally jump over in terms of hurdles. But boy, howdy, do I wish I didn't have to think about that anymore. Boy, howdy, would I love to be able to just create, take as much time as I want to create something, tackle these bigger projects that I want to tackle. But I can't. At least not yet. So, yeah, the one if you want the one thing that makes you rage, it's feeling the shackles of not being able to pursue what I want to do because of bills and things racking up and all that. That's something that is very, very frustrating. Let's see here. Besides Crash or Spyro, what's your favorite game from that era? Ooh, that's a good question. Another really fun one during that era, of course, you got Pokemon, but Pokemon is definitely there. For the longest time, Pokemon was my biggest franchise that I loved. I still love Pokemon, but I'll give another game that I played on the PlayStation 1 as well. It was Digimon World 1. Very much enjoyed Digimon World 1. Any personal goals you want to accomplish this year? Get back into a better rhythm. Figure out a workflow that doesn't stress me out. Figure out life choices that don't stress me out. Prove to the world that I'm not making things up for views. And I know I don't have to prove it. But I feel like when Spyro 4 gets announced, it's going to be a very much afterwards, in a sense, for me. After Spyro 4 gets announced, it's going to be kind of like a, now what? Like, I know it sounds weird, but it's true, because you have to think that, I've been chasing after Spyro 4 for how long now, right? So since 2018? Yeah, since the end of so we'll say 2019. Maybe 2019. And so what? It's been 5 years. 5 years of chasing after this game. Right? It's almost like a, now what? Right? I do want, and of course it's Crash Bandicoot 5, and sure, and there's all those, continuations and stuff. But it's just, it was very, very, very difficult for me. It's very difficult. So I want to show that, I mean, we already just got another set of layoffs there, Captain Crunch. We just got another set of layoffs from Phoenix Labs, which blows, which is really unfortunate. What's your thoughts on the rumored Lego Horizon game? always interested to see crossovers like that. It is pretty cool to see stuff like that. Definitely not the I wouldn't say we're in the worst yet, because there was that you know, 2024 has been a rough year for a lot of devs, but I appreciate you respecting them and the games they made. Absolutely, absolutely. It has been a gigantic. It has been a gigantic pain this year for a lot of devs, and again, I sympathize because I was laid off twice, not once but twice from the animation field. So I know the feeling. I know the feeling of kind of staring down the pipe of like, now what, right? What's next? Where do we go? What do I do, right? And that's something that's always been something that I hope that nobody ever wants to experience. That's something that nobody ever really experienced, and it blows my mind. Right? It blows my mind, and it's terrifying. But it's keep going. Don't stop. Don't give up. Don't stop. You know, um, if you have a dream and you push it and you craft it and you keep going, you'll make it. Just you gotta go. You gotta keep going. Just keep moving. Here's the thing when it comes to AAA. The best studios are the studios that decide, that have a rambunctious. I don't even say the best. The best AAA studios are studios that aren't even 100% considered AAA, but studios that have an abundance of cash and are not publicly traded, right? So a really good example of that is like Larian, right? You got Baldur's Gate. Now, before everyone jumps at me, wait a second. I understand Baldur's Gate is owned by Hasbro. I understand that it's D&D, and I understand that Hasbro has the Wizards of the Coast, and is it Wizards of the Coast? No, that's Magic. I understand that Hasbro owns D&D, and I understand, I get all of that, but hear me out for a second, is that Larian can create a game and they're a third party. They don't need D&D. If Larian went to go and make another game, they could, and they could make it as high quality and make it really, really bloody good. And they have that power, they have that technology, and Baldur's Gate was a refreshing game to really kind of show that it can happen. But the thing is that in order to be able to be these AAA games, you need AAA budgets. You need a lot of upfront cash, right? And to get the scale of these games, it's ridiculous. The scale and the cost of some of these games is obnoxious. And the problem is that the best games, in my opinion, are AA games that are marketed like they're AAA. And you can do that. You can do that. Do they do it? No, because people think bigger, better, badder, etc. Make a AA game and market it like it's a AAA, and just make sure it's good, right? The best example of that, and I know that this might, and the reason why I say that, and the best example of that is Crash Bandicoot 4. Crash Bandicoot 4 was marketed like it was a big AAA game, when in reality it's more of like a AA game with the budget of it. The budget was rumored to be around $30 million. And I know that sounds like a lot, but for games nowadays, a AAA title is not 30 million. A AAA title is like a ridiculous amount of money. 30 million is a pretty good for a video game that size and a team that big. Cost of triple. 30 million. 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 30 A game. Right? Yeah. The average cost to build AAA games with entry-level and mid-level features and functions is between, according to ejaw.net, between 60 and 80 million. However, the price of AAA games might go to 100 million or even more if you want to include cutting-edge and superior features and visuals. So September 25th, 2023. They're saying in the range of 60 to 80 million on average, right? So, so what about a double A? There we go. The current budget range for AAA starts at 100 million USD and goes up to anywhere about 300 million for dev costs, potentially double that for marketing. Double A is anywhere between 1 to 20 million, although that is also a very squishy figure. So yeah, again, Crash Bandicoot is more in line with a double A game, and you know that's kind of the idea. It's that to me is the best way to do it. Is okay, because and this might sound like weird, but just hear me out for a second. Restrictions can build creativity. Let me explain. Restrictions can build creativity. If you go back and take a look at, we'll say Spyro the Dragon, because of how awesome the tracks were and how many the music tracks were, Spyro only had like around 400 megabytes to work with, all right? So they had to get creative when they're designing their games. They had to get great creative. They had to figure things out. They had, okay, how do we fit this? Where do we cut here? And what happens is that when you sit down and figure this stuff out, you start thinking, okay, how is this going to work? How is that going to work? How are we going to make this work? How are we going to make that work? But when you sit there and you tell a big company, hey, you have $100 million, well, make something amazing. Well, oh my gosh, the exploration, the research, the this, that, and the other. And what's happening is that, you know, you're blowing, you're literally blowing $100 million. There has to be money to come back, right? But if you turn around and say, hey, listen, you have $30 million. Here's your time limit. Make us something good or the best you can. What's going to happen now is that more decisions are going to be made quicker. Conky just donated $16 to Streamlabs. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Throwing some support your way and getting that bar up to $1,100 for you. Thank you so much. We're now $400 away. If you want to contribute to the bar, the description is in the description below. If you want to contribute to the donation bar up here, in the description below, there is a link. You can click it and you can help donate to the bar. Goal is $1,500. Thank you so much for the $16, Conky. I appreciate that. And the thing is that when it comes to budgets, it's saying, hey, here's $30 million. Make something for us. Do it. Make something. And that might sound cruel on the surface, but just hear me out for a second. When you give limitations like that, but you give a good workspace, that's the difference. So a good working environment, a great working environment, but you have obstacles. The environment's not the obstacle. It's, hey, we have $30 million and we have 3 years. So we got $10 million a year to produce a game. What do we make? Right? Because what's happening is that you're getting games that are in ideation for 3 years. The game's in concepting phase for 3 years. Okay, so the game's been in concepting phase. Okay, so now we're finally going to pull the trigger on it. And then, oh, we keep adding ideas. We keep making the game bigger and bigger and bigger. The game becomes 7, 8, 9, 10 years. And now the company's like, okay, we're a publicly traded company. We want our money back. And you just spent 8 years, $10 million a year. We want our money back. So then they start coming up with these ideas. So you have these ideas that are in development for 5 years, and then they're sullied by microtransactions because the big public trade company wants their money back. Because they're like, hey, GTA made over $1 billion. Let's throw $100 million to get $1 billion idea. And it turns out it's not $1 billion idea. And people forget that $1 billion ideas are very far few in between. And if they weren't, they wouldn't be $1 billion idea anymore. That's the point. So there needs to be a limitation, and there needs to be somebody that says no. And there needs to be a, hey, this is good enough, or hey, we need to have a limit, right? So when you have a AA title is something like, a AA title is something that is like Crash Bandicoot 4, right? But it's marketed like it's AAA, and then people play it like, oh, this game's great. This game's fantastic. It critically does great. Yeah, it's great because what happened is that developers and the producers and the companies sit down. They're like, hey, we have $30 million. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to try to get a good return on investment. That's what we're going for. We're going for a good return on investment. We're not going for $1 billion. We're not going for that $1 billion idea. We're not going for the $100 billion idea. We're not going for the $500 billion idea. We're going to give you $30 million. If you can get us back $60 million, we're happy. That's it. Then we're happy. So we would net 30 million. We would get the 30 million back plus another 30 billion. Right? That seems reasonable. But you see, again, you sit there, you're like, okay, we have to come up with an idea that works, and it's quality, and it looks good, and it feels good, and it runs good. But then producers start crunching down on the employees for ideas that they have that been a game that has been in development for 8 years, and they have these ideas that are like, hey man, this idea is fantastic, it's so great, but how are we going to make back the $120 million? How are we going to make that back? So you start seeing the microtransactions, the DLC add-ons, and guess what? It soils the idea that was so good, that was developed over 8 years. Imagine, the best way to describe it is, imagine you come up with an idea for a soup. It's a recipe that's amazing. You sit down and it takes a day, a full day of cooking, sometimes 2 days of cooking. And suddenly someone says, yeah, we're going to actually now before you serve, we're going to serve this with frozen garlic bread that we got for $2. And it has to be served and it has to be eaten with it. No ifs, ands, or buts. And you're like, wow, I don't want that frozen cheap garlic bread. I just want the soup. Well, not too bad. Or, hey, you know what? We heard market research says we like shrimp. People like shrimp. So we're going to throw shrimp in this soup. Fry it up and drop it in. But it doesn't work, sir. Doesn't matter. Throw in the shrimp. Even though... So what I'm saying is that there needs to be a step back from both sides. You need to have producers that are not going to be pitching games for prices that the team can't work on, and then it crunches the entire team. They can't do that. And then bigger companies have to pull back on the $1 billion idea and just think, hey, return on investment and give and more, right? If I give you $30 million and you earn me $20 million, I'm not going to be happy, right? If I gave you $10 and you gave me $20 back, I'm happy. right? If I'm someone that's a billionaire, okay, or millionaire or whatever, okay, and I hand a team $1 million and they hand me $200,000 back and that's it, I'm not happy. If I give a team $1 million and they give me 10 million back, I'm thrilled. I'm over the moon. I am so happy, and I want to take care of them. I want to make sure that they're taken care of. I want to make sure that they're okay. I want to make sure that when they're working for me, that they are the happiest people possible, because that team just gave me $1 million. I gave them $1 million. They gave me 10 million back. That is how, the investors and all these things work. But unfortunately, what's happening is that that's not what's happening. What's happening is that producers are lowering the bidding for how much they can do a game to a point where they're going to have to inevitably crunch. And then the producer screwed up because they say, hey, we got the project approved. Great, you got the project approved. All right, so you guys approved for 60 million? No, we got approved for 25. Excuse me? So you want us to produce the same idea that we pitched, that we told you was going to cost $60 million for $25 million. And the producer turns and says, hey, that's the only way. We can maybe try to squeeze some other things out, so we better start cutting some things. But also fulfill our promises. It's not good. It's not good. There's errors on both sides that both parties need to be able to, hey, listen. You're going to get 4 years. You'll get $50 million in 4 years, right? Produce a game. Produce a good game. You'll get all the time you need. You'll get all the PTO you need. You'll get, if you want to work from home, that's fine. You'll have state-of-the-art stuff. We're not going to crunch you. You're not going to get killed. You're not going to have a product. Does it need to be as big as GTA? No. No, it doesn't need to be as big as GTA. Does it need to be as big as Warcraft? No. Does it need to be as big as the next big thing? No. No. No, 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 no. No, it doesn't. It doesn't need to be as big. You just need to get my money back and a return. Then I'm happy. That is how producers need to think. And this is how investors need to think. Okay? What's happening right now, I'll tell you what's happening right now. Two things that's happening. A team is being handed, let's say a game is, go on the successful side of things and then I'll get going. So we got a rant here. Let's say I am BA. Team BS. There we go. I run a company called BS. All right? Big spenders. Okay? I run a company called BS Limited, we'll say. So BS turns around and says, hey, we want the next big thing. We want the next big thing. BS wants the next big thing. Okay, great. Who can give us the next big thing at the cheapest rate? And they go for bids and the amount of time, blah, blah, blah. Finally, again, here we go. We're going to the successful side. Let's say it's like, okay, Larian. They turn around and they spit out Baldur's Gate, right? What happens is that, let's say Baldur's Gate cost $100 million. I don't know the budget of Baldur's Gate, but let's say it costs $100 million. And the investors get back $1 billion. Now, let's lower back, $500 million. So they gave $100 million, they got $500 million back. You know what they're saying? Man, GTA made over $2 billion. How do we do that? DLC, let's squeeze it out. Let's yell at the employees, do better, do better, do better. When in reality, it should be like, heck yeah! We just netted, we gave them $100 million, they gave us $500 million. Heck yeah! Return on investment. I'm happy. Let's do it. Let's do another one. Make sure they're happy. Make sure they're happy so they can keep doing it for me. Yeah, but you didn't make as much as Grand Theft Auto. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I made my money back and then some. And that's the problem, is that they don't do that. They think, okay, but why didn't I earn this much? That team's earning that much. Why didn't I earn this much? Why didn't you guys do something that's good enough for this? Why didn't you make the next Warcraft? Okay, maybe it's not the next Warcraft, but it made $500 million. Doesn't matter. Why didn't you make the next Warcraft? Why didn't you make the next? Just make it. That's what big companies are doing right now. Then on the flip side, you have these teams, okay? You have these producers, certain producers, not all producers. What I'm about to say doesn't apply to all producers, okay? They're communicating with the publisher, and the publisher, they say, hey, the team said, you sit down with your producer, you're like, hey, we can make a Jack and Daxter game for $50 million. And here are the things that we can do. And the producer goes, nah, they're not going to go for it. And they're like, what do you mean? I'm like, this company's not really going to want to do 50 million right now. They're only really doing projects that are 35 million. And so then what happens is that you get these teams that get eager, like, yeah, you know what? Yeah, we can do 35 million. Yeah, we could do it. Yeah, we could do it. Yeah, we can do it for 35 million. That's the exact same project. Yeah, we just got to work hard. We just got to work hard. And then the producer goes and gets it for 35 million. Even though the person that budgeted it knows we needed 60. But the producer goes, oh, well, the publisher wants to do it for 35. So now it's okay, deliver these big promises that you said for 60 million for 35 million. Why aren't you doing that? You see the problem? And then likewise, sometimes the producer goes, yeah, you know what? I'll have a conversation with them. And the producer says, hey, this team wants to do it for 60 million. And they say, ooh, well, 60 million, that's a bit big. How about 40 million? And the producer goes, yeah, sure, we can do it. Yeah, sure. And they come back to the team and say, yeah, they approved your project for $40 million. And the team's like, but we need 60. I'm like, you can do it. You can squeeze it out. You can do it. I believe in you. It's $40 million. That's a problem. That's also a problem. And the thing is with development is that that's where problems already start. You can't have problems starting at that point. If you have problems starting there, the rest of development is going to be bad. Okay, a good producer will say, hey, we need 60 million. And they say, can you do 45? The producer then would go back to the team and say, hey, they want to do 45. Do you want to try 50, but we have to drop some things? Yeah, sure. Okay, we can do 50, but we have to drop these 3 features. Okay, then they go back and they figure it out. And the producer says, okay, they want 2 of those features in. Okay, well, then we need 55 million. And then that's where you come to a communication. And then there has to be a point where the producer says no. There has to be a point where the producer says no. And if the publisher says, well, then we can't do it, and the producer says, have a nice day, shake their hand, and leave. Done. And that's it. And not subject the team and push the team saying, hey, I got the project approved for you. Right? So I'll give you an example. I'm sure there's some people in chat who are either game devs or aspire to be game devs, or have either they are game devs, aspire to be game devs, or understand game devs. How would you like it if everybody in this chat who is aspiring to be another game dev who is a game dev, if I turned and I told you, hey, I'm going to slide you a contract, you're going to make the next Crash Bandicoot 5 game. Oh my gosh, what an honor, Crash Bandicoot 5. For only $500,000. And you have to match the quality of Crash Bandicoot 4. How would you feel? I would tell you, I would be literally panicked. And I would say, no. No. No, I'm giving $500,000 as a budget. to build a game like Crash Bandicoot 4? No. No, 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 no. Okay, how about $1 million? No. No. Because I would already know that just because, yeah, I'm a fan and I want nothing more than to work on it. But I would have to turn it down because it's like, no, we can't do that. So producers need to have their team's backs. Investors need to be happy when they get a return on investment. And both parties need to mutually agree on smaller projects. Like, what was the budget for Spider-Man 2? Hold on. Hold on. Because it was obscene. $300 million. $300 million. That's 10 Crash Bandicoot 4s. 10. $300 million. I love Spider-Man 2. Spider-Man 2 was fantastic. But 300 million? Are you kidding me? Especially with the first Spider-Man already being done? The bones were already there from the first game. The engine was already there from the first game. How is it that the next game costs $300 million? Are you insane? $300 million. And they were slated at $270. Let me take a look. Spider-Man 1. Estimated back in 2019 to be around $100 million. So the first game was $100 million. And then the second game, $300 million. Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart, okay? Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart was $81 million. $81 million. That's why there was a whole bunch of people complaining to me, oh, why didn't you mention Ratchet & Clank as one of your smaller franchises? Because $81 million, that's why. Over 2 times the cost of Crash 4. Almost 3. $81 million. That's a AAA title, I'm sorry. That's a AAA. So no, in my Sly Cooper video about the smaller franchises, Ratchet & Clank is not mentioned. Because $81 million, that's why. That's obscene. And here's the worst part. Allegedly, so far, as of December 19th, 2023, okay? They allegedly lost $8 million with Ratchet & Clank. How? 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 It's insane. So here's the point. Here's the point, okay? You can take a game that is double A, polish it up, really polish it up, really polish it up, market it like a triple A, and it does well. Focus more time on polishing the game. Focus more time on making it good. Focus more time on having what you have and making decisions and getting it done. Okay? Because it's, to my knowledge, Crash 4 started development like basically in 2017. So 3 years, we'll say. Even though it was more like 2 years because they were focusing on Reignited and then shifted over to Crash 4 afterwards. But basically, we'll say 2.5 years. We'll say 2.5 years for Crash Bandicoot 4. 2.5 years, $30 million, over $5 million in sales. Welcome to the modern day blueprint right there, in my opinion. More games like that. You don't need these AAA $100 million, $300 million games. You don't. Smaller budget, tighten up on the game, focus on what's good, make your employees happy, keep them happy. That's my take. And the gaming industry needs to change. It has to. It's spending too much money. And if you don't believe me, look at the layoffs. It's not just Greedy Corporation 1 and 2. How many layoffs have there been in the past year? Oh, it's Activision. Oh, it's PlayStation. Oh, it's Xbox. It's indies too. It's indies. It's AA publishers. AAA. How many layoffs have there been? Clearly there's a problem. Clearly there's an issue. Clearly the economics are not making sense. Because they're certainly not making dollars either. The economics are screwed up. There's something wrong. We're spending too much money on making these games. Way too much. It's not making sense. It's not adding up. The employees, how is it that we're spending an egregious amount of money and the employees are getting crunched? How? How are the employees getting crunched, getting depressed, hating the industry, hating their lives, and yet we're spending too much money? There's a problem. There's an issue. There's clearly an economic issue somewhere, and it needs to be fixed. Otherwise, the gaming industry is going to continue to go down on a slope, and eventually we're just going to enter the era of indies, where it's only indie publishers and indie games that are literally making the sales, and the platforms like PlayStation, like Xbox, like Steam or whatever, are just literally bouncing off of the platform costs of these indie titles. Take a AA title and give it a budget that you would give a AAA for marketing. That's how you save money. That's how you grow a game that might have been seen originally as too small. You have to figure out the economics, because if you don't, whole ship sinks. You gotta figure it out. Right? Well, I'm going to check one last thing before we go, and then I'll go. what's that in here? Hold on. Okay, I was trying to find a couple things, but point is, if you're going to make a big AAA budget title, because I was reading Breath of the Wild. Wouldn't we say that Breath of the Wild was probably one of the biggest titles for the Switch? One of the biggest titles, if not, like, arguably, in terms of a new experience, excluding a remake and remaster like Mario Kart 8, Breath of the Wild for the Switch was one of the biggest titles, if not, like, imaginable. The budget was $120 million. That's big. It's a big budget. That's less than half Spider-Man 2. Less than half. For Breath of the Wild. Think about that. Comparing one of PlayStation's #1 titles versus one of Nintendo's #1 titles, and Nintendo spent less than half. Less than half. There's a budgeting problem. There's a budgeting problem on multiple parties. Not just one, not just two, not everybody involved. There is a problem. There is an issue. There is something clearly wrong. And it needs to be fixed, or else the industry is going to be a sinking ship. So, there's my rant for the day. I know maybe some people are going to try to take some things out of context for that, but that's my rant for the day. That's how I feel. But anyways, thanks so much for watching, everybody, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. We'll be back tomorrow with Hi-Fi Rush, and I'm excited. I am super, super, super excited. Anyways, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video and our live stream. Time for the countdown. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bye.